All right, it's fucking vent time. It's vent time. You want to know why? Because we're going to end up closing everything down again and completely ass-raping the economy to the point where it's not going to recover for a long fucking time. You can't lock everybody down, let everybody out, and then when the expected happens and cases start going up, which I don't know why cases fucking matter, but we're going to put the brakes on everything, and then we're going to start reversing policy and locking everybody down again. See also Texas. Florida's going to be right behind them, I guarantee you. And the reason why is because the media is bitching about the Republican governors of Florida, Texas, and Arizona for opening up too quickly. Like, that's the reason for the spike. Only problem is the math doesn't fucking add up, number one. Number two, we're missing something. We're missing something pretty large. So let's just walk through this a little bit. LA County, about 10 million people. Florida, the whole state, about 20 million people. We've got the same amount of fucking cases. Same amount. Pretty much the same amount of deaths as LA County, a county versus a state that has twice the population. But New York is now limiting travel from Florida, not from California. That makes a whole bunch of sense. And Governor Cuomo, that dickhead, is talking about how Republican governors messed up this whole process by politicizing things. When his state has 25,000 deaths versus 3,000 deaths in Florida versus 2,500 deaths in Texas versus 1,500 deaths in Arizona. But Cuomo did great. Only 25,000 people died. Good job, Mr. Cuomo. You're really saving lives over there. You killed 12,500 old people in old folks' homes because you wanted to shove the sick people back in with the old people when we know that old people are going to die. But that's not even the crux of the whole thing. You want to know the crux of the whole thing? We were encouraging some not very social distancing-y practices here recently, right? So Florida opened up on, I think it was May 4th, about when I started going back to work, May 4th. Okay, we know that there's about a 2-week period between whenever people are exposed to the virus and whenever they start exhibiting symptoms and have to go to the hospital, yada, yada. So we're well past 2 weeks from May 4th, but the spike is only a problem now, more than a month and a half later. So if you read the news, the spike is associated with Memorial Day and all the partying we were doing on Memorial Day. What happened right around Memorial? Oh my God, the fucking riots. I mean, mostly peaceful protests all over the country. California, New York, Chicago, some in Florida, some in Texas, some in Arizona, all fucking over the place. Because if I have 11 people at a barbecue in my backyard, somebody's gonna call the cops on me. But you can have a Black Trans Lives Matter protest with 100,000 screaming people in Philadelphia, and we're just gonna celebrate because, oh my God, they're really just coming out here to make a difference, and racism is gonna kill more people in 2020 than coronavirus. Do you understand the fucking dumbassery that is going on here? I'm losing my fucking mind. We're gonna close down Florida again because 3,000 people have died, because cases are going up. Cases are going up. Nobody gives a fuck about cases. And guess what? As you let people out of their houses, people are going to get exposed. But we want to talk about people partying, people going to bars. That's where people are going to get. No, probably whenever people are spitting and fucking yelling 2 feet from one another by the hundreds of thousands in these big cities during these mostly peaceful protests. It's fucking asinine. And the media is going to continue to push it until Republican governors like fucking Greg Abbott cave. Greg Abbott's already caving. Florida's already fucking around again. And whenever we all end up back in our houses again, and all these small businesses that had all these massive fucking upstart costs to get back into business after they were artificially shut down the first time are going to die. The businesses will die. When the economy dies, people die. Okay, coronavirus is a thing. We all know that these events happen in any population, whether it's the human population, whether it's an animal population, an insect population, whatever it is. There are these black swan events that take out portions of the population. It's fucking Darwinism. We all believe in science, right? Science is fucking God, right? I know that it hurts to hear this. I know that deaths are sad. I know that we should do everything we can to protect the old and the infirm. Keep them at home. Let everybody else live their lives as they see fit and take the level of precaution that they think is necessary for themselves and for their families. But instead, now we're getting government mandated mask wearing. That's going to be enforced by who? The cops? I thought we were defunding them. I thought we were canceling cops. I thought cops were canceled. That doesn't make sense, does it? But yeah, so we're going to riot against the cops. People are going to go out and shoot each other in New York at a rate of something like, I don't know, 200 times what was happening before. We've got Father's Day weekend in Chicago. More shootings than they've recorded in a weekend fucking ever. Black people, I would assume, getting gunned down in the streets because the cops aren't allowed to do their fucking jobs because they know everybody has a camera, and even if it's a good shoot, their lives are over. We got dude in Atlanta, life's ruined, could be facing the death penalty for doing his fucking job. And so you have all these things culminating. We're gonna take down statues of the people that built and founded this fucking country, because while they did a lot of great things, they also did some terrible things that were associated with the time in which they lived. But we're not even just going to take down the Confederates. We're not even just going to take down the slaveholders. We're going to take down the statue that represents emancipation, the statue of Abraham Lincoln in D.C., that was paid for by freed slaves to celebrate the fact that he provided them with independence. We're going to tear that one down too. It is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Give it 3 weeks. Give it 3 weeks. We're going to have petitions going around to blow up Mount Rushmore. I'm going to call that right now. Give it 3 weeks. Florida and Texas are going to be closed down again. California has been shut down this whole time, with the exception of the mostly peaceful riot protests. So how the fuck does LA County, with half the population of Florida, have the same number of cases and about the same number of fucking deaths as Florida, who's been open for 2 months, when California never opened? Unless you were going to go to protest, because that's cool. You can't get the virus protesting. The shit is fucking asinine. And the fact that people are listening to the fucking bullshit media and eating this shit up. I've gotten text messages today talking about how poorly Florida's doing. Really? 3,000 fucking deaths. 25,000 in New York. 3,000 deaths in LA County alone. And people don't recognize that there is spin. People don't recognize what is happening here. People don't realize that we're pushing an agenda. People don't realize that they are trying to prop up a dead person who is currently running for president on the Democratic ticket. You seen him out and about recently? I haven't. He's probably dead. It's close to it. It's not at a functioning mental capacity. But we're not allowed to talk about that either. This shit is to the point where it's beyond the point where I can just be fucking, quiet and rational and sit back and take it and whatever. No, we're fucking destroying history. We're upending the economy. We're talking about how pervasive, quote unquote, systemic racism that nobody can put a definition to, and that's the whole point. But we're going to talk about how pervasive systemic racism is and how we're keeping the black man down today. If you rewind 5 fucking months ago when everybody had a job and employment was at record lows and everybody was making more money than ever before, these weren't problems. They're not problems until we artificially close down the economy and put all these, 20 to 40 year old prime peaceful protesting age individuals out of work. Now they got nothing to do. Go fucking protest. Go fucking riot. Go fucking steal shoes. Go fucking burn down police departments. Go create an independent autonomous zone in the middle of fucking Seattle and start shooting people in there because you guys are that fucking dumb. And then not letting the cops in to save them. And then bitching that the cops didn't come in to save them. I really wish that everybody would just take a half a step fucking back and look at what's going on. Because it's a fucking parody. 2020 is a fucking parody. And it's gonna end fucking badly. is the sad part of this whole thing. It's going to end really fucking badly. It's going to end with rights being taken away. And once they take them away, they don't give them back. What power is the government ever taken and then given back after a few years once things settle down? It's not a fucking thing. Trump's a dictator, but he's sticking to the federalist principles, which are in place for a fucking reason. He's letting everybody, have enough fucking rope to hang themselves. Oh my God, that was racially insensitive. Holy fuck. Good thing I don't have social media or else I'd get fucking canceled. Like Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben. "2020 is the stupidest fucking year ever. And everybody's just playing along with it." Enjoy that, guys. Gonna buy some ammo.